Hey everybody, this is Arbutus, and this is Outer Wilds. This is going to be a blind playthrough after the first episode here because I just recorded an hour of my first impressions and had audio issues throughout the whole thing. So let's try this again. This is a blind playthrough. I promise everything after this first video will be all first time for me as well as it is for you. Outer Wilds is a fantastic game. I've just been struggling with Elgato a little bit, so I'm really excited to get into this and make some new discoveries. Let's wake up. Got something being destroyed up there in front of the planet. And we've got friend Slate to talk to. Here's our pilot, back from your pre-launch campout under the stars, I see. So it's launch day, eh? Seems like only yesterday you joined the space program, and suddenly here you are, leaving on your first solo voyage. What do you say, ready to get this beauty off the ground? It's all fueled up and ready to go. All systems go, Slate. Glad you're excited, but remember, if you wreck the ship, I'm not building you a new one. I'm not made of lightweight re-entry grade aluminum alloys, you know. Anyway, you'll need to get the launch codes from Hornfels at the observatory before you can lift off. Just bring those here once you've said your goodbyes or whatever. Alright, Slate, will do. So now we're gonna head off, and you know what? On this one, I did all these little tutorials, and I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna skip them. You can learn to fly this thing. Got our friend Micah. Hey, it's you! Slate said you're blasting off in your ship today. I'm really excited to see the launch. Aren't you gonna go into space, aren't you? You better not have changed your mind. Hey, I'm still going. You better be. It's been forever since anyone launched into space. I really, really want to see it. Really bad. Hey, you want to try out my model ship? Slate says it's just like the real thing, only less likely to start a fire. I did, and then Elgato ruined my recording, so. Not this time. But I promise, that thing, I'll tell you right now, that thing is much harder to fly than the ship. Heyo, hatchling, I hear you're leaving us to seek adventure amongst the stars. When you return, let's you, me, and Gosan open up a bottle of the good stuff. The good stuff is less delicious sap wine. An iron stomach is the mark of a true Hearthian, my friend. Our hardy hunter-gatherer lifestyle stems from trial and error, by which I mean our ancestors survived eating a lot of bad things. So did mine. You're actually blasting off in that thing, huh? They really don't explode as often anymore. All I know is between the space program and Micah's model rockets, things seem to burn to the ground here a lot more than they used to. That's probably fair. Oh, what's this? I actually didn't find this. Outer Wilds Ventures presents Postcards from Orbit. Use the satellite camera. This projector is linked to our Sky Shutter satellite, which is currently orbiting Timberhearth. Satellite is equipped with 2 onboard cameras. See if you can take a snapshot of our village. Okay. Forward snapshot. Here we go. Hey, we're passing right over the village. I think. This is pretty cool. This thing is orbiting mighty close to the surface. We got ourselves a very small planet here. I just want to find our village. Let's keep going around. There she blows. That's a nice picture of the village. Oh, and then it just disappears. This pilot seat, used by pioneering astronaut Feldspar, is all that remains of our inaugural flight into space. Although it's been argued such a distinction requires a breathtakingly liberal definition of flight, that day will nevertheless always be remembered as a landmark achievement in Hearthian history. Yep, spaceflight's pretty dang cool. This guy, Marl, is trying to cut down a tree. He's a woodcutter. He's not going to cut down a tree. Nice here tells us that, well, let's talk to Nice. Hello there, Space Cadet. I hear you're leaving the crater today. If you meet any of the other travelers up there, remind them to take proper care of their instruments, won't you? Oh, sure, I made all their instruments, you know. Let me see. There's Chert's drums, Rebek's banjo, and Gabbro's flute. And Feldspar's harmonica, of course, though Feldspar's been missing for a long time. Sometimes it feels like just yesterday they were playing their harmonica around the campfire. Anyway, you hear music in space, that'll be one of the space program's other travelers. If you feel like company, you can always pull out your signal scope and track them down. Alright, I may just do that exact thing. Those two have nothing to say. Fishing rhyme. Singing helps me pass the time. You're leaving the crater? Guess we'll all be a little busier without you around to lend a hand. That big water planet, Giants Deep, that's where I'd go. Why's that? One time after the rest of the village had left to sleep, it was just the two of us sitting around the campfire. Gabbro told me about their first trip to Giants Deep. They landed their ship easily enough in the waves, but couldn't see too far down, on account of how murky the water was, I guess. Too dark. Gabbro wants to see what lay beneath the surface, so they decided to travel deeper. They traveled down and down, but suddenly Gabbro couldn't get any further. Tell me more. I will. I was just pausing dramatically. As though exercising a will of its own, the water was refusing to let Gabbro go any deeper. It held Gabbro back, almost as if it were trying to protect them from something. And then, in the terrible darkness, Gabbro saw it. The tentacle of some hideous beast. Is that all true? Heard it from Gabbro himself. Gabbro can be a little fanciful, sure, but they aren't a liar. I mean, probably anyway. I guess if you want to know if the story's entirely true, you can go see Giants Deep for yourself. Damn right. I do plan on doing that. Got the observatory up this way. We'll go get ourselves some launch codes. There's a first good view of our ship. Looking pretty sexy over there. And up we go. Oh, hello, astronaut. This is good weather for your launch, right? That's lucky. What are you up to? I'm using my signal scope to pick up sounds from distant planets, set to the Outer Wilds Ventures frequency so I can pick up the traveler's music. Last night I heard Rebek's banjo coming from Brittle Hollow. I hope that means they're safe. I can hear different planets, too. It depends on what time of day or night it is, since different planets are in the sky at different times. Signal scopes are cool. I'll agree, this thing is extremely cool. Got something out there in the universe. A little bit of a gravitational lensing effect, which is pretty cool looking. Yeah, see that star moving out from behind it? Whoa! Is that our satellite? Might have been the satellite we were just taking pictures from, and that, I don't know what that is, but no sound coming from it. Is there anything else up right now? Oh. We've got sounds coming from this gas giant, but I don't remember that instrument builder telling us anything about Jug Band. So I don't know if this is actually one of our astronauts. There's that wreckage we saw. Right as we woke up, something is destroyed in space. And there it is, orbiting that green gas giant. Fascinating, fascinating. So let's keep on moving. This kid tells us there's this stuff called ghost matter. Yeah, you see that? That's only visible through a camera. So I'm sure that is something we'll be dealing with a little bit later. We've got some ghost matter here. It's kind of floating around in a cloud. Zero G cave, that's a bit of a tutorial thing. But let's go chat with our friend here. Gosan. Three-eyed dude and one of the original astronauts. Hey, I thought I might see you before the big launch. Nerves getting the better of you? I'm a little nervous, yeah. Good, everyone should be a bit nervous going into space. I got cocky during my first flight and nearly put a crater in the moon. Still, I was never as green as you. Hey, I've gotten better. Think so, do ya? Feel like proving it to your old flight coach? There's a satellite, which is definitely not a piece of broken mining equipment. No, I'm ready for the real deal. Don't get yourself killed out there, you hear? Not after I put this much work into training you. Haha, go on. Go make Outer Wilds Ventures proud. Okay, I will. Man, there's that satellite again. That thing's really moving up there. Come say hi to your old flight coach before you launch. Thanks, Gosan. Got it covered. And we're going to keep heading on over here. This is the entrance down here to the left, huh? Got a picture of some astronauts. Outer Wilds Ventures founding members, clockwise from top left. Hornfels, Gosan, Slate, and Feldspar. And for some reason, Esker is not listed on this little note here. Doesn't look like he's photographed here, but his name is on this. Maybe he's the one taking the picture. Maybe Esker's behind the camera here. Big thanks to additional founding members of Outer Wilds. These must be the backers. Cool. Good job, guys. Looks like you backed a good one. Outer Wilds Ventures, Timberhearth's first and only space program, was founded to explore the farthest reaches of our solar system. Feldspar was the first Hearthian to be intentionally launched into space. They completed the first orbit around Timberhearth and later made the first of what would be many landings on our moon, the Adelrock. Feldspar, first in space. Like how it was the first intentionally launched into space. On a planet this small, might accidentally catapult something into orbit. Hal. Hey, it's my favorite astronaut. Launch day at last, huh, buddy? It's the translator tool's inaugural flight, too. I'm so excited it's making me nauseous. Just think, you'll be able to translate any Nomai text you want anywhere you are. Two of us put a lot of hours into inventing that tool, so don't break it, okay? Haha, oh geez, do not break it. Ignore me, okay? I'm just nervous, and I'm not even the one who's going into space. How are you feeling? I'm excited. Good, you've been waiting for this day since we were hatchlings. I can't wait to see all your training pay off. So what's the dirt? You here to see the new Nomai statue? New statue? You haven't heard? Gabbro brought it back with them from Giant's Deep, and Hornfels just finished prepping it for display. This right here. Neat, huh? Makes me wish we could see what a real live Nomai looks like, but I guess this is as close as we'll ever get. Check it out. Looks like they had fur. Fur is weird. This is the first fully intact statue ever found, you know, and for how old it is, it's in great shape. Ah, geez, I got a little carried away there. Go on, you have a ship to launch. Take care of yourself out there, you hear? Alright, Hal, will do. This remarkably intact statue was carved by the Nomai, an ancient species who dwelled in our solar system thousands of years ago. The statue provides us with our most detailed look yet at the Nomai, who appear to have been covered with a layer of fur. Note the decorative jewelry that has been carved as part of the antlers. Although their artifacts and structures have been found on almost every planet in this solar system, we still have no idea where this species came from or what happened to them. That's so cool. I know it's a common trope in fantasy and sci-fi, the whole kind of like living amongst the ruins of a greater civilization, what with elves and Mass Effect and all that. I know there's a million more examples. But something about that whole trope is very cool to me. I love that idea. This piece of Nomai writing was essential to deciphering their unique language. Although this text is linear, Nomai text often branches off from a central point. Interestingly, each branch tends to be written by a different author. It's like a text thread on the internet. Speaking of that ancient civilizations trope, I've always wondered kind of where that came from, you know, like what the original idea for that was. And the only thing I've come up with is kind of the like ancient, well, not ancient, but older Europeans that were living in Northern Europe and especially England after the Romans pulled out. And they would have been surrounded by things like, you know, essentially modern plumbing and running water and toilets and very advanced roads. And for hundreds of years, they didn't know how to rebuild all that stuff. So, I don't know. Just a theory, but I think that's where the idea of living amongst advanced ruins came from, because it's not something you experience much these days. What you see here are parts of the Nomai skeleton. We can tell from their skulls that they possessed antlers and, quite unusually, only 3 eyes. The Nomai body was most likely adapted for living on land. Shockingly fragile bone structure shows us that Hearthians couldn't have descended from Nomian ancestors. It's not clear where the Nomai originated from or why they disappeared. We hope to find more clues to this puzzle as we explore our solar system. Alright, let's translate this. Cassava says, "We're nearly ready. Felix and I have finished construction, and she says calibrating the device won't take long." Felix, unfortunately, the Adelrock's lack of atmosphere will make calibration simple. After all this time, I'm thrilled to finally resume our search. So we're building something on the Rock, eh? Nomai technology brought back from space by our astronauts has been a great boon to Outer Wilds ventures, allowing us to modify expedition gear in exciting and useful ways. For example, the Little Scout now boasts a warp retrieval capability that allows astronauts to recall their scouts almost instantly. This has dramatically reduced the number of scouts lost to the depths of space. This crystal was taken from a Nomai ruin on Brittle Hollow. It seems to create local gravity. So these things change your perspective, and it seems like the way that the mist is flowing in them tells you which way you're going to be falling. And you can kind of... Oh, that's what these are for. Nice little ramps to get you up and down. Trippy. Yep, that looks like a terrifying anglerfish. This is telling us about the evolution of stars. As the core contracts, it gets hotter, causing the outer layers to expand. The stars become a red giant. When the core is hot enough, it starts to fuse helium into carbon. The star is massive enough, it will continue to fuse carbon into even heavier elements like iron. Ultimately, the star will collapse under its own gravity and then explode in a violent event called a supernova. This will one day be the fate of our own sun. Just like in real life. Stars run through different fission products, and ooh, this freaky old rock right here. This strange rock moving around this grotto appears to react to conscious observation. The level-headed among us realize there must be some sort of optical illusion at play, but Gabbro claims the rock exists in all possible states until it is observed, whatever that means. Whatever's actually happening, both sides of this debate agree the effect is extremely creepy. And indeed it is. I love how they managed to get this to work in the game. That's very cool. A little bit of quantum Heisenberg uncertainty. Watch closely. These balls move on their own. The ground is perfectly level, so what do you think causes this spooky motion? The answer is the moon. As it orbits our planet, the Attlerock's gravity pulls on objects from different directions. In fact, it's pulling on you right now. Let's see if we can hang out for just 1 second while we wait for the Attlerock to rise and pull these balls back across the little table here. Maybe they'll be rolling when we come back down. Got a cool map of the solar system here with Timber Hearth and the Attlerock, our singular moon. Can zoom in to get a better look at these things like the Ember Twin and Ash Twin, a binary system spinning around here. Very cool. I want to see that. Brittle Hollow with its volcanic moon, Hollow's lantern, and some kind of unlabeled gray body flying around in space here. I wonder what that's all about. Everything else is labeled. We've got out here Dark Bramble, planet seemingly made of roots and ice. And right now it's actually heading past whatever this is. We saw this from the surface, actually. This body out here, extremely bright, extremely heavy, as you can see from the gravitational lensing. That's an effect that occurs in the real world as well, and allows us to take measurements of objects behind other objects, because we can look at their reflections. Sometimes, you know, up to 4 reflections of the same object. So you'll see 3 pinpoints of light, and from those be able to extrapolate what a singular object behind the lens is doing. So whatever's out there is incredibly massive. Giants Deep, which is the water world we heard something about. I was thinking it was a gas giant, but we heard that it has oceans, saying that someone found some sort of monster down here. And it even has this debris orbiting on the map, which is what we see when we wake up. the first thing we saw just as we popped out of our sleep there. So I really want to go see what that's all about too. And this is the interloper, some sort of comet, I suppose, with a trail burning off it opposite to the sun, just like our comets. Yeah, it's worth noting that in real life, the comet's trail isn't left, behind retrograde of the object, if you will, but it's blown out radially from the sun. It's not like there's any friction for them to be plowing into, to knock a tail off retrograde. It's just the force of the solar wind knocking particles off. So it's cool that that's modeled as well. And it looks like there's some sort of solar station orbiting, which may be of Nomai construction. That doesn't look like anything we'd build, but I'm sure we'll find out all of this stuff later. Let's go look over here really quick. Hornfels observations. This is incredible. At first I thought the points of light in this image were stars, but they're not. They're galaxies. And this image covers just a tiny patch of the whole sky, which means the universe contains at least 1,000 times more galaxy than we previously imagined. And I think I need to sit down. Very true. It's like the Hubble deep space images, which look like a starscape, but every single point of light is a galaxy. This is odd. According to my redshift calculations, every single galaxy in this image is moving away from us. In fact, the farther away a galaxy is, the faster it appears to be moving away, almost as if the entire universe is expanding. But if that's true, was everything closer together in the past? And how far back can we extrapolate? Did the universe have a beginning? I really like this little note here, because it's kind of a parallel to our own discoveries. I think we figured out the Big Bang long before we figured out about the expansion of the universe, through theoretical physics and calculations and things like background radiation. We figured that there must have been a time when the universe was much hotter and smaller, but it seems like the Harthians here are coming to the Big Bang from the other angle of looking at redshift, looking at the expanding universe, and calculating that backwards, saying, oh, there must have been a time when everything was smaller and hotter. Let's talk to Hornfels, the man making these very observations. There you are. I just finished pre-flight observations and local conditions are good. Time to get our newest astronaut off the ground. And you'll be our first astronaut ever equipped with a Nomai translator tool. I confess, I've been giddy all day just thinking about it. We're better equipped than ever to unravel the mysteries of the Nomai. You and Hal should be very proud of your work. What's your plan once you're in space? Going to learn more about the Nomai. I'll meet up with the other travelers. Something small. Oh, I'm just gonna wing it, man. Planning to follow in the footsteps of Feldspar and the great Outer Wilds Ventures tradition, are you? I might have guessed. Well, see if you can't put that translator tool of yours to good use while you're out there. Well then, looks like all that's left is to send you off. All in all, it's a fine day for a launch. I'm ready to get off this rock. Excellent, you'll be needing the launch codes then. Here they are. Best get off the ground before Slate makes any more modifications to your ship, eh? Good luck out there. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Nice lighting. I like this fabric roof to your observatory. I wish I could use this telescope. I don't see a way to use it. Let me get a peek in there. Alright. Let's get into space. There's a lot I want to see and do out there. Every one of those planets looks cool. Nope. Balls ain't rolling right now. Let's go. Well, I'll tell you, wasn't expecting that. I love how these Nomai have goat pupils too, these horizontal slits. Apparently it just read my mind, looked through my memories, and flashed some crazy purple lights at me. Hey, so did you get a good look at that Nomai statue? The statue was glowing. Why was it glowing? Whoa, whoa, the statue was doing what? So its eyes opened and then you saw images from your own memories and glowing lights flying around? You mean like a hallucination? Listen, no offense, but are you sure you're okay to launch, like medically speaking? No, that statue's definitely weird. I mean, if you're saying it happened, then I guess maybe it did, but why? Hornfels tried everything to get the statue's eyes to open, and nothing like this ever happened to them. I don't think you're going to get any answers from the museum statue, but Gabbro said they were going back to Giant's Deep. Don't know which island they're on, though. Maybe they'd be able to tell you more? On the other hand, Gabbro's, Gabbro, so maybe you'd be better off searching for more information on your own. Geez, now I'm really jealous you're going into space. Hey, see if you can use your translator tool to find out more about the statue, okay? Good luck and safe flying. Thanks, Hal. I will see you next time I'm back in the crater. Because we're just going to keep heading on over this way. Come around the back of our lovely little launch pad here. Our nice all-wooden launch pad, as the lumberjack there pointed out in a previous playthrough. Hello, astronaut. Are you going into space today? Are you going to space and never coming back like Feldspar did? Don't worry, I'll come back. That's what Feldspar said too, but they never did. Hornfels will be really sad if you don't come back. Like how sad it makes them to talk about Feldspar. So you should make sure you don't get lost in space too. Alright, you got it, Tefira. Alright, got everything we need. Say goodbye to Slate one more time. Looks like you're ready for takeoff. The excitement of a launch is fun and all, but I can't wait to get back to working on the new ship. We're working on fixing the autopilot's avoidance system for this one. Sorry. Yeah, I'm sure that would be nice to have on board this ship, too. Up we go. Very cool looking ship. Got these nice kind of RCS looking thrusters. Look like a reaction control system. Don't know what this little dome here is. But it's got a fancy elevator. Whew. Take a look at the log. We've got entries for every planet. No entry for the sun. We can't view that. The village, the zero-G cave. Yeah. Lunar ruins. This is what I'm interested in. Nomai text in the observatory talks about calibrating some sort of device on the Attlerock. Alrighty. And this must be about Gabbro. Hal says Gabbro went back to Giant's Deep to try to learn more about the Nomai statue in the observatory. Alrighty. Well, that's all our leads so far. I think I'm going to head to the moon. Oxygen refill. Spot a tree, walk towards it, and enjoy. Just like real life. Let's buckle up and fire up our boosters here. And into space we go. So cool. I love flying in space. Let's see what's going on with this crater up here, though. This looks kind of interesting. Got some smoke coming out of the ground. We're just gonna set down out here. Easy does her. Easy does her. Cool. Relatively safe landing there. I think our gear can handle all that. No need for a spacesuit. We're still on the Homeworld here. Yeah, that's pretty nice. That looks good. And down we go. Oh, don't get stuck. There we go. No, 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 no. Oh my god. Well, there is fall damage in this game. That's a good thing to find out now before I die. Whoa, some sort of plant and icy thing? looks like that outer world there. Heyo, hatchling. Thought you were taking that tin can of yours into space today. What are you still doing here? Me? I saw something crash over the horizon and didn't like what I was seeing in my pictures my little scout was sending back. So I thought I'd come over here myself and take a look. Is that a dark bramble seed? You think so? It's nothing I've ever seen on Timberhearth before, so you're probably onto something there. Whatever it is, put down roots in a hurry. I don't like the look of that thing, hatchling, and that's a fact. Think I'll set Marl and Howl loose on it, but get rid of this mess sooner rather than later. And no one can remove an unwanted plant faster than a tree keeper can. I'll have to get a look at what's inside the seed first, though. Don't want to set anybody to hacking up a potentially dangerous plant without a better idea of what's lurking inside there. Tuff can help me haul out the old scout launcher over here. Obviously, the opening is too small for someone to fit inside, and anyways, I'm not going to blindly stick my hands into anything that looks as unpleasant as that seed does. It's a good way to lose an arm or two. This guy knows something about losing limbs already, it looks like. Here, I'll figure it out for you. I'll figure it out. Oh. Alright, I'm just taking damage. I'll let you go get the little scout. You can figure this out later. This thing left a pretty big a hole here, though, huh? Knocked over a few of our precious trees as well. Let's continue on our way. Wonder where the Addlerock is right now. Also seems like there is a pretty good view of some planets up here, although I may have lost them now. From what I saw of the instruments that people have, no one mentioned anyone having an old school like jug band style jug, so I don't know what's going on with that gas giant there. Got somebody whistling on this world. See a campfire in a little house. Couple structures up there. Crash lander. Ah, and look at that. That might be some ruins down there. Let's get up there. Let's get up there while the Addlerock's nearby. Or at least in sight. Buckle up. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Where'd that moon go? Is that it? Yeah. So we can kind of lock on, which is very cool. We're gonna not want to go too fast. Alright, coming in at 31 meters per second. We can lower that pretty quickly. I don't want to crash land here. You know. So we'll come in, we're going to arrest our speed. Velocity's matched. Now we can sort of land safely here. Yeah. Whoop, 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 whoop. We're gonna want to come in right like this. 1 meter per second. Beautiful. Let's hop on out of here. And suit up. Since we're going into space, man. Man, that is so... that looks so cool. These are just these empty platforms here. Let's head down to the trees. Get some oxygen. Hey, there we go. Who we got here? Signal identified. Esker. So this is the 5th character, the 5th of the original founders of the space program, and the one that wasn't in the picture. Wonder how he's doing. Oh hey, it's you. Ground control didn't tell me you were launching. Long time no see. Actually, I guess it's been a long time since I've seen anybody. The lunar outpost saw more traffic back when our ships were less sophisticated and needed more frequent repairs. Nowadays, it's mostly used to keep a set of eyes on things. Sometimes Chert comes by to say hi, but Gabbro is Gabbro, and you know how Rebek feels about unnecessary spaceflight. Don't go. I mean, is there anything else you wanted to ask? Seems lonely up here. Little. I'm in touch with ground control, Hornfells, and Gosan mostly, and they radio up to chat now and then. When ground control forgets I'm up here, they usually do, I launch my little scout at the village. They forget about you. I don't blame them. For one, I don't check in as often as the other travelers since I'm always in one place. It's not so bad up here, really. At least it's peaceful and quiet. You don't always get that in our solar system, let alone in our village. Don't go. I mean, is there anything else you wanted to ask? Is that you whistling? Probably, or actually definitely. The other travelers carry instruments, so they don't bother whistling. You can pick up their music with a signal scope, you know? Best spot for that is the North Pole. Great reception. North Pole is marked on red on your mini-map, but the outer rock is a pretty small moon, really. Just go north, you can't miss it. What is this place? Ha ha, very funny. Oh, stars above, you're serious, aren't you? That's just depressing. Well, welcome to the Lunar Outpost, which apparently the space program doesn't bother to teach you anymore. When we first started Outer Wilds, travelers used to bring their ships here all the time for repairs. Our spacefaring technology has improved loads since then, but the older ships tended to fall apart a lot, like more than they do now. Using the outpost cut down on the number of launches and landings taking place in the village, and also the number of fires. Nowadays, though, it's mostly just me up here raising saplings from Timber Hearth and keeping an eye on things. Don't go. I mean, is there anything else you wanted to ask? Nope. I'll talk to you later, Esker. Huh. I wonder why he is... strange to me that he was left up here by himself. He was not listed on that photo. Like, his name was on the photo, but on the note with it, it only lists 4 guys. Doesn't say Esker Photographer. Seems like he's kind of been relegated to isolation for some reason. Esker's signal scope log, day 48. Still not picking up Rebek's banjo from Brittle Hollow. I'm sure they're fine, but I'll feel better once I can hear their music. Day 51. Listen to Chert play for a while today. Unrelated, someone should tell Porphy and Gorson their flirting is not subtle from an aerial perspective. Day 55. Banjo music coming in loud and clear today. Sounds like Rebek's doing okay. That oaf, I was worried. Day 63. Thought I heard something strange. I don't know, it was probably nothing. Day 70. No, it's back again today too. Something strange is coming from Timber Hearth. Day 76. Okay, I know this is crazy, but the sound from Timber Hearth sounds exactly like Feldspar's harmonica. But Feldspar disappeared in space ages ago. It can't be them. Day 88. It's still here. This is creepy. Maybe my signal scope is broken? I'd better talk to Nice. Huh. So Feldspar is the missing astronaut. There's that banjo. Huh. You can kind of get a picture of a full song when you get a planetary alignment. You can get both instruments. Very cool. So what was that about a harmonica? Huh. Yeah. Sounds like Feldspar's harmonica to me. And look, as I move this around, the harmonica is coming from that crater that I was just in. The one with the seeds. It definitely only seems to be the top. Oh, now we're picking up another signal from behind it. Interesting. So maybe Feldspar's back? Let's see. From the surface of Timber Hearth, I was seeing ruins on the south pole of this bad boy. So let's just zip on around here using our suit fuel. I wonder if Feldspar could be in that seed. Oh, is that more Nomai ruins down in this crater? Interesting. It definitely sounds like that music is coming from that one crater. And here we are at our first set of Nomai ruins. Put this thing away. Pop this in here. whatever that symbol represents. And everything just spins. Everything just spins like crazy. What if we try something else, like the sun here? So far, so good. Alright. Excellent. We can hear it burning away. So somehow it focuses sound, much like our signal scope. Let's check on the water world. Whoa. Some heavy winds blowing there. And finally, this other one over here. 3 minutes of oxygen. We should be okay. This one just kind of hums. It's got a real low drone to it. That's so cool how all this stuff just slowly rotates with the planet. It's like stable structure in a spinning universe. There we go. Top up that oxygen. Here we have some Yomai text. Coleus, I was upstairs testing the eye signal locator, and it can hear and follow the signals from the sun, Giant's Deep, and Brittle Hollow. However, something strange is happening when I ask the eye signal locator to follow the eye signal. The device indicator rotates wildly and never points to just one direction. Thatch, this is a curious result. It's possible the eye has stopped calling out its signal. Felix, I see. Most likely calibrated the locator incorrectly. Privet, my apprentice, and I will make adjustments and try again. An update. Disappointingly, everything is correctly calibrated after all. Cassava says, it saddened me to posit this, my friends, but I believe we need to build a more sophisticated device if we want to find the exact location of the eye of the universe. Then we will build it. Don't lose hope. Don't lose hope, Cassava. Our search for the eye is what brought our clan to this place. We won't give up so easily. So this text here answers quite a few of our very initial questions, namely that the Nomai did come here with a goal in mind. They came here to find the eye of the universe, whatever that means. My hypothesis right now is that that's some sort of central point of the universe, simply because we had the foreshadowing about galactic expansion and kind of theorizing about how it all started back at the observatory. So I wonder what it has to do with that. If they're looking for the eye itself, it would make sense why setting the sensor to search for the eye was just spinning around randomly. Like in our universe, the center of the universe is, or the point of creation of the universe is, everywhere. Thatch, where should we build this more sophisticated locator? It may need to be larger than this eye signal locator is. Coleus, Anona and I, and those of us originally stranded on the Ember Twin, built a quantum moon locator there, but the heat of the sun made its construction challenging. I wouldn't recommend building on that planet. Plume says, the southern glacier on Brittle Hollow has ample space available. I could construct a new building to house this proposed locator. Felix says, yes, let's build there. I imagine our young friend Konoe would enjoy that immensely. He's always held a great interest in the eye, especially for a child born so long after the crash. Plume, I will begin construction on Brittle Hollow's South Pole immediately then. Alright, more hints sending us off to the South Pole of Brittle Hollow. Okay, wow, I've seen this ruin in other travelers' pictures, but seeing it for myself, it's really old, isn't it? But wow, this is the coolest day of my life. Okay, time for some official notes. So this is some kind of Nomai locator. It can point out the different planets, which is incredibly cool, by the way. But from what little I can understand of the writing here, I think it was built to try to find something specific? I'm not sure. I was also able to translate something about the South Pole of Brittle Hollow, so I'll fly there to see what I can learn. Yep, just gonna get back in the old ship and take off. Totally safe. Mostly safe. Oh, stars above. So I wonder which of our astronaut friends that one was from. The guy on Brittle Hollow, which I now forget. Oh, there's that traveler heading right past. Cool. Well, I think we've seen what we can see here for now. Let's head back to the ship and think about making our way on to another objective. I forget where exactly our ship is. Ooh, what was this thing? Ah, a crash ship. I wonder if this is how Esker got here. Maybe the crash of Feldspar's first flight to the moon. Not much I can learn about it, unfortunately. Here's the flag. Nice linen flag up here in space. Cool. And there's our ship just around the limb of the planet here. Well, let's get in here and give a look through this log. This is about where I realized my recording was fucked last time, so we'll take a look through all of these. Haven't had a chance yet. Esker's camp, view entry. Growing copper trees at their camp. They seem to be doing okay, but they've probably been alone on the moon for too long. Yeah. Lookout platform. Esker uses their signal scope here to keep tabs on other travelers. Seed from Dark Bramble crashed here and has already taken root. Ah. There's more to explore here. Cool. Know my device created to pinpoint the sources of distant signals. Man, I really like the music in this game. Rebeck headed to Brittle Hollow to investigate something the Nomai were doing at the South Pole. Decided to build a larger, more sophisticated eye signal locator on Brittle Hollow's South Pole. Yep. Alright, well, we've got a few more goals. Go ahead and get my suit off. And we'll buckle up. Well, guys, that's been about 50 minutes, so I'm going to pause this here, and I will see you back here next week. I'm going to keep playing this game. I'm hooked so far. Like I said, everything from here on out is going to be real-time first impressions for me. I'm really sorry I had to re-record this because a lot of those reveals were really cool. When the Nomai statue starts looking at you, I was very confused and excited. So there's a lot more to explore here. I'm looking forward to exploring it with you all. So if you want to see the rest, please subscribe, like, comment. I respond to all of them, so hit me up. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all next time.